I wrote this. This is kind of funky, like Nintendo-y, like exercise beat almost. To write that chord progression, I like busted out all of my music theory knowledge. Oh, that was it, bro. Happy Saturday, Sam. 7 years ago is when I first remember seeing things online about the idea of having computer-generated music being a thing. Carrie KH, he's a computer sciencey channel. I've always been into computer science. In fact, it's what my major was in college. Well, in college my major was computer engineering, but it's adjacent. But the training data was on MIDI files of Bach and Mozart, I'm pretty sure. Actually, I'll pull it up real quick. So yeah, this is like what he was feeding it. So it's like this Baroque music, and he's just feeding MIDI files into the computer, and the computer's trying to replicate these MIDI files. This was as good as it was able to get. It's like right here. And it's like, yeah, that sounds pretty close. And I remember back then being like, oh, that's pretty cool. But then obviously that brings up the topic of, well, how good is this gonna get? Fast forward to maybe about a year ago. Actually, it was more than a year ago. That's kind of crazy. We start seeing these large language models like ChatGPT become like public. And we're still all able to use these large language models. And I'm like, oh dang, this is AI, this is crazy. And then we got like image generation. And for some reason, I never really thought about music AI being a thing until one day, my friend, Mr. Nicholas, I don't think he watches these videos, but if you're out there, thank you for showing this to me. It's come a very, very long way, and it's incredible. I wrote like a 30-piece AI-generated Minecraft music album. That was just the first thing I did. I was like, oh yeah, we can just start cranking out sick Minecraft beats. There's just so much here. It's rich. We have songs about the villagers tempting Steve into smoking cigarettes. We have songs about just like normal Minecrafty things. We have things about loving to look at creepers because they're for some reason so attractive. The first thing I learned is that this AI is really good at writing pop EDM. And that's what it defaults to. If you just give it a prompt, let it generate its own lyrics, it just always makes poppy EDM music. But you can also get it to write things that aren't pop EDM. And I'm not just talking like pop country, pop whatever else. You can get it to write literally any genre. One of the first experimental genres, first wave Jamaican ska, which is like one of my favorite genres of all time. It's really funny if you just like give it lyrics and then for the chorus you just give it a ton of vowels like M, I. It's really good at working with what you give it. And if you give it like an extra line outside of the meter of the like lyrics you gave it, it like incorporates all of your lyrics so well in like very interesting ways that aren't immediately an obvious way to do what it's trying to do. I think it's like this one. No.
In the place of stepping in.
Well, here's a mariachi one. Or like salsa. It's like salsa, actually. Another, like, one of my favorite genres, honestly.
Trying to mine diamonds, but all I get is cold. Preparing for the weather.
The more you listen to these songs, the more you kind of can hear. There are like specific characteristics of this model that can make it immediately recognizable. Like it all kind of sounds like, obviously it's not playing any of these instruments. It's not using like a sample. I'm assuming what it's doing is it's like starting from like noise and then trying to like harness the noise into like the certain waveforms that make the certain timbres of certain instruments. But it's also really cool because like some of these instruments are in between like vocals and like saxophone or electric guitar. So it's just this very like non-human sound, but it's really interesting. Anyway, I'm like, this is not what I am making this video about. There we go. It even like has that lo-fi sound to it.
I don't know for sure, but I think someone is near. I mean, the single player world, you're right.
These are my lyrics. I've just always found that it's way better at making music when you give it your own lyrics. Oh yeah. All of this, it really begs the question, what if I have concepts of a new song I want to write? I can't do it because it's either too nebulous, or maybe I'm just not good enough at writing songs, which is definitely the case. I feed my ideas to AI. And even now, like with the newest models on Suno, that's like the model that it's like, I think it's the only publicly available really good music making AI. And it's just like fully accessible to anyone who wants to go to their website. You can give it samples. So if you just wanted to like write a little thing, and I'll get to this, I've done this, and that's like what the video is going to be about. It'll build on a sample and just like make a song out of it. So worst case scenario, I just give it lyrics, or maybe not even that. I just tell it to write a song about something. If I take the song it makes and cover the song as if I were covering like a Beatles song, I could logistically put out that song and just claim it as my own. But what does that mean? So one of these Minecraft songs is a... oh no, I need to find it. So this is like the original EDM.
I might all the time, but when do I get to the crafting?
Bro.
If it wasn't the namesake,
So this was one of the first renditions of these lyrics that I let the AI kind of mess with, and I don't think I gave it a prompt, or I didn't give it a genre. I gave it the lyrics. Sounds really good.
Coal and diamonds too. I end up back in the cave with my pen.
Oh my gosh, it's such a well-structured song.
When we'll be severed, perhaps when I reach the end, and I fight
Listen to the bridge.
dragon, my pants will be sagging, with my pockets filled with diamonds. I dream
Oh yeah, we need to listen to the end because it brings up another really interesting point I want to talk about that's
of
adjacent.
the day when I can go out and play crafting table in hand.
You can kind of hear that raspiness I was talking about. Like how it's harnessing noise. Just sounds really washed out, but in a good way. So far it doesn't feel like there's been a chorus, but like there's about to be a drop. That's all it generated because it was limited to 2 minutes. That model, it was like version 2 or 3. It only does 2-minute songs. So yeah, super unsatisfying. So that was a side tangent. I need to find the not the original, but the one I want to show.
I'm tired of my diamonds, but all I get is coal.
Bro, what even is this genre? I love it so much. Like I made all these songs, like it's like the quickest nostalgia possible, 1 year turnaround. Bro, this one's really good too.
And zombies on me.
Where is it? Wait,
Stepping in the
there it is. Oh my gosh, it's literally the last one I clicked on. So it's just this emo song.
I do this all the time, but when do I get to the crafting? If it wasn't the namesake, I wouldn't be so mad. But I'm always out of iron.
So before I talk about the rest of the song, this introduces the idea of some of the things it's really bad at. And it's extremely bad at writing songs that are not in like common time signature or maybe 3/4 or 6/8. Because it wasn't trained on like 11/8, which is interesting because like a video on my main channel, the most recent one that I've posted, was like 2 of the pieces I wrote for that song were in 11/8, just because I thought it'd be funny to like, they kind of sound AI and they're like very new to me, like the genre I kind of made them in. So I'm like, oh, if I make them 11/8, it's like impossible to claim that they're AI. But like the way I prompted this song, I gave it the lyrics, of course, and I wanted it to be like math rocky, and it captured that feel, or like Midwest emo. But it's not an odd time signature that is like kind of inseparable from math rock. I've tried so much, and as you can see, this is just one of the albums I've written, and it's 29 tracks long. I've tried a lot to get it to do odd time signatures. Sometimes it abandons the time signature and it goes more ambient. It's really hard to get it to do that, but I don't know. It's just so interesting to me, the breadth of what this AI model can do. Anyway, we'll listen to the song. I love like 6/8 so much, bro. Listen to how full the sound is in the next chorus. Yeah, it's the same lyrics as the other song that we listened to a lot of.
Stuck in the mind all of the time. Mine, 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 mine. Until the day arrives, bringing whole separate vibes. I'll be stuck in the caves, stuck on this stage, and all I'll do is mine.
I didn't really prompt it to build the song this way. I did like distinguish what was a verse and what was a chorus. I might not have even done that with this. But adding all the different like B sections and stuff is all kind of on it. I love that effect, bro. This is where I've used the song in a few situations, but that's where I would cut it. But it's funny how the AI just wants to keep going because it's like, I don't know. It's not human. Man, there's so much I need to cover in this video. I don't know what this video is going to be. We're just like sitting here and I'm just like staring at my screen. I think I'm going to leave all that in though. I don't know. This video is so weird. Maximum ADHD. Anyway, I took that sound and I was helping another channel, and I won't get into specifics because I don't want to spoil anything. I took that song and I flipped it and I recreated it as best I could. And let me tell you, it was a task. In this character, or in this world, there's a character that is like emo-y. And they're all engines, I should say, like train engines, kind of like Thomas the Tank Engine. I won't spoil more, but this emo guy, the engine is too big to go around a certain turn. Like his wheels are too far apart, so he just like can't go backward or forward in his little area that he's in. Try to listen to like individual tracks, individual instruments in this mix. The bass line comes through really well, but the electric guitars are so washed out, and I think it sounds amazing, but it's so hard to like. And sometimes when there's a lot of that noise happening, the model like mixes the vocals into it, so like the vocals get really scratchy. Like right there, perhaps. But I did my best. Oh, God. Not my best work, but like I'm not that proficient in writing music. But that's not what this is about. This is about the morals and the ethics of who do I credit for this? Because I could surface level just claim I wrote this. Let's switch over to looking at the best case scenario of what you should utilize this for. I wrote this. This is kind of funky, like Nintendo-y, like exercise beat almost. Japanese airport. It's not polished at all. Oh yeah, that's solo. Okay, I put that into Suno, and I gave it random lyrics. I told it the genre was like airport Japanese Wii Fit music. But of course, since I gave it a sample, it kind of didn't need the genre thing. It's just trying to replicate that sample. This is the first time I've ever fed the AI a sample, and it took it exactly, and it didn't change the sample itself. Like, that sounds like what I wrote, but it took it and it made a chorus out of it. Okay, so listen to this transition.
Bring me back to the place I belong. My heart longs to sing this song. Hudson Miku, I don't deserve her. All I want, Burger King burger.
Oh, that was it, bro.
Burger King burger.
After doing this, and I was on a call on Discord with someone, and we were just freaking out because a lot of this is not that good. It was not large portions of this song. It did not do a good job at putting lyrics over my original track. The chord progression in this chorus is so amazing. To write that chord progression, I like busted out all of my music theory knowledge. I'm like, okay, I need to use a diminished chord here to get me from this chord to this chord. It was actually a really fun exercise. So I started on that like A major 7, I think. I ended up in the progression ending on an A sharp. I'm just like moving up one chromatic almost, which isn't something you normally do in a decent sounding chord progression, but I don't know, it was like an interesting challenge to me. And it took a lot of effort to try to get there, and I didn't know like what I could do for a B section. And then I heard the AI. It's like no effort required from my part. It's like I just oh, dude. Okay. It's like I consulted an expert in the field, except it was just computers. Bro. So I did it, and I didn't replicate it exactly because it's kind of hard. You can't really like hear each individual note, but I tried to replicate the feel. So this is the original. And even though it's not exactly the same, obviously I still need to polish it a little. It's a little avant-garde there at the end. The AI inspired me to go that direction. And in that sense, it's a very useful tool. And I don't necessarily need to credit it. But where's that line, you know? Like, I could have just written the whole song with AI. Heck, I could have even, and I've done this before. Where did I, here, let me open up another. So I wrote this song for a different channel. I sampled an AI song. And when other artists sample music, it's like interesting and cool to go look at what they sampled to see like where the source material comes from. But I sampled some random AI song I generated months ago. So what, like this is just one of the Minecraft songs, but it's like old swing jazz from like the 20s. I didn't put a lot of effort into this, but it's like a rap beat.
We're mining blocks, but I ain't going for gold. 2,000 blocks down and I'm not even cold.
It's so stupid. Okay. You can hear that I sampled the... I've generated a sample from AI and used it. I've completely copied an AI song, don't need to credit it. And I've also used the AI song to inspire progression in a song I was working on. I don't know, and I don't aim to answer this question, but like, where are the moral boundaries and the ethics here? Before I wrap up the video, one of the cool aspects I've never seen anyone talk about online, and I'm not like in AI music circles online, so maybe it has been, but like I've never seen it. If we go to one of my other AI albums, and I guess the story really starts. Dream Manufacturing Inc., Blake Michael, his contribution to the album, Bar Scene.
No, look, I'm not saying it's going to be a big problem, Marcel. I'm just saying
So if you're not familiar with this album of ours, Bar Scene is just...
something that you need to consider.
It's not that big of a deal for you.
It's, yeah, exactly. It's about...
It's just that for 3.5 minutes or something. There's lots of conversations happening. If you listen to it 5 times over, you can actually hear everything that's being said and like make sense of what's being said and follow conversations Blake is having with himself, which is really interesting. It really fits the theme of the album.
Situation, you know what I'm saying?
No, it's fine.
I just don't necessarily
You know,
try.
I fed that to AI. The AI handled it extremely. I don't know. I just have to show you. Oh my gosh, I've made way too many AI songs. I don't know which one of these are what. Okay, here's one. So immediately, it's not English. So let me replay from the beginning. You cannot hear or discern anything of what's being said. I can't talk right. But it's slowly, creepily. I don't know either. I don't know what this is. I don't think I gave it a genre. This is just AI music. AI music making tool harnessing entropy. I didn't give it lyrics either. This is its own lyrics, and it's not English. There's something so interesting to me about when you are trying to like take in art. At least for me, I try to look at the meaning of the art, or try to look at like what the artist wants you to feel when you're listening or partaking of the art. Not all the time, but like obviously a lot of works don't try to hide that they're trying to portray something, trying to make you feel something. This is music that's been generated without a single... Obviously, a human wrote the code for how the AI was able to take its training data and use it to make music. But what the heck is happening here? This is like the universe. No one wrote this. Like, this was just gathered from... I don't know. I don't know what to think about this. And I don't think I need to think anything about this, but that's why it's so intriguing to me. It's just made for no reason. I don't know. I can't even express what I think about this. I wrote a song called Snow for the last Chef Stevenson album. It's this piano piece, really short, it's like 30 seconds. I'll skip forward. This isn't show and tell. It kind of is. I fed that to AI. I'm so sidetracked. This whole video is just sidetrack. It took my work and it made it better. Oh my gosh, I love this piece so much. See, like, obviously this feels really happy, but it goes on for a while, and AI doesn't know what to do with it. It's like, it took my happy feelings about the song, and it's overstayed its welcome, and it makes it feel creepy. Let's not look into this section of the song, you know, it's like trying to be creepy, because it's like, obviously it's got some effect on it that makes it kind of sound darker. But just the feeling that it went on for 3 minutes, it's like trying to artificially extend the happiness, you know what I mean? But I feel like any good happy thing needs to have a natural end to cash in the happiness and make you feel like it's really good. Okay, here's another Blake one. So this includes the sample. This is where so you'll hear when the switch is.
No, you shush. I can't believe you sometimes, because you are honestly such a...
Here's the... Okay. I forgot. I didn't even think I was going to be talking about this in the video. But, like, when you give it a sample, it doesn't just store the MP3 and uses it as a sample. Because if you listen at the beginning...
It's awful. I just can't understand why they know.
You can only hear the most forward conversation happening.
You can't tell me you're not making this same on.
All of the background conversations are lost. This is not my original sample.
Every single week. But it's your fault for coming here as often as you do.
Let's switch to where it started generating. It's right, it's already happened. So you can't understand anything that's being said right now.
I do love her. Love her, love her, love her. I do 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 love her. I
Bro. That, I don't know. That's why I'm addicted to making AI music. I haven't done it in a long time. I did burn myself out.
You know what a user do and
I forgot the real lyrics.
you're when you don't know what to do.
But imagine if I took that and I made it my own. People would just think I made it. And honestly, I don't know what the implications of that are, and I don't know what the world is going to do about it. And that's what I made this video for. Sam, I'll see you next week.